last week I found out that my job was being restructured. I essentially lost my job for the 5th time. And at this point, honestly, the whole time I've not really been numb to it, but I've been content with that because I realized that everything passes. Like the sun is about to set and I have no control over that. Like it comes and it goes. Jobs come and go. Conversation with your direct boss would tell you, then you'd find out an email, then you would have a kind of impersonal meeting, actually no, a very impersonal virtual meeting about we're sorry, but this is happening and it's happening. So you have basically, I think, 2 or 3 days to make the decision if you want to reapply for this job. And there's only going to be, I think, like 6 or 8 positions available instead of the 30 or so that we had. Yeah, crazy. So the second my principal finds out that there's a restructure before this impersonal meeting, she calls me and she's like, I need to talk to you and I need to offer you something. So she offers me the job. You know, I take it. I'm not even going to wait for this virtual meeting to take place because I already know that I enjoy the school that I work at. I love the culture. I love the environment. I love the kids. Like there's nothing that I want more than to continue the work that I'm doing. So I just, say, okay, like I'll go to the meeting because I'm curious, because I like to hear what people have to say. I want to see how they're going to deliver this information. I'm curious to see what the information really is. There's a lot of uncertainty right now with this position. All we know is that there is a few. All we know is that they'll be traveling between schools. That's all we know, right? And I'm not interested in chasing. But you know what really hit home for me about that meeting was it was so impersonal. Like for large companies, you are just a cog in the machine. And, and as individuals, I enjoy them, but I have to realize, I know, but you should realize that, when you're in a workspace, this is about a job. And though there are people who are working those jobs, this is about a job. This is a position. Though you connect with the people that you work with, though you might have relationships and all of that great stuff, when it comes down to it, you are a line item in a budget. You're a line item in a budget, and though you are a human being with a family to feed and you have decisions to make when it comes down to it, and they have to decide what line items to keep and what line items to eliminate, they look at costs. They look at effectiveness. They look at their data points, and they make decisions. And in this meeting, it was someone who was delivering it, and I have no idea who she was. I've never heard her voice before, to my knowledge. And she was doing the best that she could. She was delivering information that wasn't hers, and that I don't envy that. And it happened, right? Things were restructured, things were changed, and you were told that, I highly suggest that you meet with your administrator and see what is possible for you on that campus and consider if you would like to apply for this job. And you have a few days to apply for the job. You have actually 3 days to apply for the job. If you're interested, if you're thinking you're interested, just fill out the survey so we can just make sure we have enough time to do all the Zoom meetings so we can see who's interested in the job and do the interview process. Because we don't have time to waste. They don't have time to waste, right? Like, they cut your position, they need an answer from you, they need to know how to move these chips, and you need to figure out how to move your chips. And it's important to remember that none of this is personal. that I know that there are several people who worked crazy hours in their position that would lose sleep over their work. I did the first year. Like, there were plenty of times where my boss was like, you need to chill, like you're doing too much. You're doing everything that I asked you to do and then some. Please don't stress yourself out. I know people who worked tirelessly, who put everything on the line just for them to be a line item. Like, please remember, people, that this isn't that serious to them. Like, they want to make sure that their company works to the best of its ability with or without you on board. And if they like your personality, they like your skill set, blah, blah, they will use and use and use it. And then one day they won't need it anymore. Or one day it won't be needed as much as something else. So it's cut. Like, whether it's because of health, whether it's just because of anything, like, there is no guarantee in this world. There's no guarantee of your health. There's no guarantee of your job. So it's important to maintain balance. Like, nothing's promised. And you can do all of the right things and still end up on the side of the table that finds out that you're losing something. That you've lost your health even though you've never smoked, that you ate all organic food. You've lost your job even though you worked the longest hours, you were the first one there, last one out. It still can and will happen. So what's the lesson in that? Like, what do you take away from that? I take away that everything will pass, that you have agency, and I need to pay attention to what I can control. Jasmine can control Jasmine's decisions. Jasmine can control how much energy she pours into something. Jasmine can control how much she relies on something. And I'm really having to reevaluate how I spend money, how I spend my time, how I spend my energy, because time is not a renewable resource. I can't get back the hours that I overworked myself. And when it comes time for my eulogy, I don't want anyone to say that Jasmine worked 10 extra hours a week, that she did everything that she could for the company. Like, I don't want the company to be brought up at all for my eulogy. I don't want a company to be brought up. I want my connection to people to be brought up, how I spend my time and my energy. So after I left my day job, I went into the community, and like a little side thing that I do, and I went and read with local students. And I work at high school, and I went to an elementary school, and I went to an elementary program where there were these little kids, and it was such a joy to work with students in a different way. And even whenever I was ready to leave, one of them asked me for help on something, so I stayed longer than I planned on it, because I can't say no to a smiling face who wants to learn how to write something and wants to read with me. And like, I'm a sucker for literacy, so I want them to be able to say that I spent a lot of my energy in this community, that I loved deeply, that I connected with people, that I was compassionate, that I cared. I don't want to be remembered as a numbered position. So I don't know how long I'll be an employee. Maybe I'll be an employee for the rest of my life to some extent. I don't know. But I hope to grow into my own, to where I don't have to depend on someone. I don't want to be a line item. Yeah, that's just what it comes down to. I don't want to depend on someone else to make my income. I depend on me. Yeah, I want to be able to start coaching people outside of my job. I want to be able to work with people who have similar interests that I do, who want to become more financially free, who want to live a freer life, who want to free themselves from this mindset of over attachment. And yeah, I don't want to work and depend on someone else's choices for me. And I want to help other people do that, right? So I want to be in a space to where I can help you see yourself differently. And that's something that I do at my regular job, is that, yeah, sure, I'm there for like instructional coaching, but when it comes down to it, you're a human being and you're in front of other human beings and you're working with humans. And it's about deeper connections, right? Like, kids don't learn from people who they don't like. That's the thing. So not how do you make yourself likable, but how do you connect with them? How are you relevant? How are you real? And I help people build those skills. I help them with strategies to make those deeper connections. So if you're a person and you want to work on your connections with yourself, on improving your agency, and you want to have a free call with me, like no strings attached, I'm not even going to give you a sales pitch. I just want to pick your brain. So it can be like 10, 15 minutes of you and I talking. And if I have anything to offer you, cool, we can go from there. But I just want to hear from you. Like, what's something that you want to do to improve? What's something that we could do together as a community? I want to provide some free resources also, because I believe that there is no gatekeeping, that everyone should have access to education, that everyone should have access to freedom, and it starts off with the mind. So yeah, as the sun sets, just look at that sunset, yo. As the sun sets, I want to be real. That we are worth so much more than the amount that we're paid. If you've ever been on the side and looked at costs and seen people as numbers, then everything just becomes more clear. It becomes more clear on what matters. And when it comes down to it, we're replaceable, we're expendable to every one of those companies. But you're not replaceable to your family. Your health is not replaceable. You can't do anything to change the world around you if you're not well. So it starts off with us. What's one way that we can get back to ourselves? That we can start to own our own time? I'm going to share more on that. I'm going to share more on owning your own time, that you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to leave the 9 to 5. You don't have to wait to leave the hustle culture, the grind. You can get it back now. More videos on that coming soon. If y'all like this kind of content and you want to see more of this, please like, subscribe, share. I want to get to like a lot of subscribers. I'm almost 100. And I'm a young YouTuber, and I want to make it well past 100. I hope is to get to my 500 by the end of next year. So by the end of 2026, I want to have 500 subscribers. Be one of them. Join us. We're in the movement to grow, to change. Changing the world starts off with you. Love yourself. I love you. Take care of yourself. Take care of the world. On this channel, we're all about growing just 1% better each and every day. That's all we can do. And when we do that, we encourage that in the world. Love yourself, love others. See y'all next time.